I just have years of stuff, you know.
Oh,
And you're like, yeah.
I got a whole basement.
You're like,
I'm like, and I always go through it every year, and I'm like, I haven't used this for a few years. I should probably just get rid of it. But then I'm like, oh, that one time I'm going to need it.
yeah, that's my good stuff right there. That killed so many things in this deal here.
All right, we're going to go mute. We got some commercials we're going to do, and then...
Is it already recording?
That is.
Okay, so the audio is connected. It's good.
Yeah.
Memory cards are in.
Yeah.
And dude, we had so many errors with this before. Got a memory card, check. Memory card, check.
Yeah.
Battery, check.
Yeah, battery's good.
Mic, check.
Yeah,
check.
mic is good.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
we're going dark.
Okay, let's do it. Archery hunters, listen up. If you find yourself in the heart of King County, do yourself a favor and stop in at Rock Creek Archery, located in Tukwila. They have everything you need if you're just beginning to the sport or you've been shooting for 20 years, even an indoor shooting range. Or check them out at rockcreekarchery.com.
Hey, everybody, if you are looking for a game call that is elk, turkey, deer, predator calls, waterfowl calls, we highly recommend PhillipsGameCalls.com. Professional grade game calls made for every hunter.
Welcome back to the Ridgeline Hunting Podcast, brought to you by Phelps Game Calls, with your hosts, David Crane and David Sandana.
All right, Dave, we are back. We are back in the kill cave. It's been a while.
It has.
I think our last upload, was like May 8th.
Well,
So
you know, we
we're
were
almost
probably
like
in
a
the tent
month.
when we did the last one, you know.
Yeah, we were. We were in turkey camp. Yep.
Did we have, I think we actually had one with Cameron after, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Okay,
we did.
so-
We actually, our last one was in studio. Yep.
Well, you know, the last month has been crazy packed with family events, hunting seasons opening and closing.
No,
We had our special draw tags that were submitted here in Washington State. If you didn't get on that,
you're too late.
and I appreciate the lack of competition. I almost put out a thing saying, everybody don't forget, but I, said better not do that. So looking forward to my 49 degree north moose tag,
if that happens, man, it's on. It is on.
it is. I know a couple people that would just drop everything. But it's good to be back in the studio doing recording. Today, we have a special guest with us, Mr. Ross Sharp from Crazyelk Company. He invented these handy tag wallets that are going to prevent you from losing your tag, because he has an experience he's going to share about how this came to be and also where you can find it.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Well, thanks for having me on. It's good to be here.
Oh, yeah. We're just excited to have you here and, talk about the tag wallet and all the other products that you have on your website. And, just the stories that go along with the tag wallet, and also just shooting the shit. That's what we do.
That's the best part about it.
So we had Ross come over. He got here a little early tonight, so he got to experience a
Nice barbecue.
yeah. I don't even know what you want to call
carne
it.
asada.
Yeah, well, it's funny because, when you sent me the address, I typed it in to figure out how to get here. I'm like, dude, this is like 10 minutes from my house. And I still got here a little early, and you open the door and you're like, hey, I'm about ready to cook some carne asada. Do you want some? I'm like, well, I already had some dinner, but yes.
Yeah,
You can't turn down carne asada.
That's a hard one to turn down. Like, you know what? No. Yeah, that never happens.
So we finished the meal, got everything going, and he presented us with these couple hats he brought, some souvenirs,
Yeah, we got some hats, we got some shirts.
which are super sick.
Yeah.
The hat you're wearing, that's in the Kuyu. Is that the Vias?
Verde.
That's the Verde.
Verde.
Yeah, Verde.
Yeah. And mine, he's like, he saw me wearing Sika, but he didn't have the Sika camo, so that's cool because I could wear this every day.
This hat actually isn't on the site yet.
Oh man, you got an exclusive.
Yeah, right?
Actually, the one I'm wearing and the one you're wearing are not on there yet. They're going to be, but the Kuyu ones, I have it in Vias as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Ross is also, he was saying you put the thing in, the address in the GPS, and it was like 10-minute ride.
Yep.
Well, Ross is also a friend of somebody that works with me, so this is kind of the small world little triangle.
Yeah.
And I was confronted at work about, hey, do you know Ross Sharp? And I was like, no. He's like, oh, you probably should. He has this cool company, and they make these things and stuff. And I was like, okay. And then I heard later from Dave, he's like, hey, I was talking to Ross Sharp. So everything kind of just went into this little triangular twilight zone. I was like, oh, shoot, okay. So we've been trying this is probably the third week.
Yeah.
Due to scheduling, we've been trying to get together.
Yeah.
And so why don't you fill us in, let us know how things started, how you came up with the idea, and then how things have been going for you.
How it started was I've always been wanting to be an entrepreneur. I'm not in this to get rich. I'm just, it's something I like to occupy my time, something that I think, especially the tag wallet, could help somebody. It's super easy to use. I have some other ideas that I've been working on. I'm just having manufacturing problems of getting them the quantities I need or that I can afford to buy. Because right now they want some outlandish number that you got to purchase at a time, and the price point. So I'm shopping around trying to find ways to get those made. But so far, my original product and only product is the tag wallet. And how it started was I was hunting elk and got my bull down. It was a spike. And as I'm sitting there, this hunter walks up and he starts talking to me, and I'm just BSing with him. He's like, nice spike. Those are pretty rare nowadays. I'm like, yeah, they're pretty hard to get because usually during rifle season they're always surrounded by, cows and stuff.
Yeah, that's a tough time.
Yeah,
that's rough.
So anyway, he sits there for a little while, and then all of a sudden he varnishes his shield, and he's like, hey, I need to see your license and tag. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I already had it on there. I had electrical taped on there, and so I had to untape it, and I showed it to him. And then when I went to go retape it, it didn't stick very well. So I had to get some more tape, which I guess realistically is not that big of a deal. But so I had to tape it again. He went on his merry way, and me and my buddies went up the mountain. And then when we got to the truck, here's another game warden.
Yeah, geez.
And he's like, hey, I need to see your license and tag. And I'm like, I just showed another guy down the hill. And he's like, yeah, well, that wasn't me, and I need to see it. I'm like, all right, great. So, I go through the whole thing of untaping it. Well, when I did it this time, it ripped.
Oh.
Right? But it was in front of him, so he saw it. It was no big deal. And he's like, yeah, you're good. Thanks a lot. And so then I had to get some more tape. And when I went back to camp that night, just sitting there BSing with my buddies, I'm like, there's got to be a better way, better way to do a tag. And this is probably the fifth and final rendition of, I started it once before with just like those cheap name tag holders that you slide a name tag in, and then I just had like bungees, but I didn't really like the look of it and everything, and it was smaller. And then when Montana went to like a paper system, they didn't issue your tags in stores anymore. You had to print it out on your computer, so you needed a bigger tag wallet. And so I made it a little bit bigger. And yeah, that's been it. And so far, we're in our third year. It's growing slowly, but it's what is expected. It's growing year after year, which is good. And I look forward to seeing where it goes. I think we sold just under 3,000 units in 3 years.
That's good. Those are good numbers, man.
That's really awesome. Yeah. That is cool. Yeah, and it's super lightweight. I mean, Ross actually put some goodies in here.
Yeah, it's a ripstop nylon. It's not waterproof, but it's water repellent. Like if you were to soak this in the river, it wouldn't obviously stay dry. But like if you have it tied to your animal and it's piss and rain,
got a cool sticker.
Yeah, it's going to keep your tag dry, especially if you just have the regular paper. And then it comes with those reusable zip ties. There's two sizes. There's the small ones, like you can use these for turkeys or a small deer, and then there's the elk ones or moose. And like I said, they're reusable. It just has a little tab on there. So you can use them over and over and over again. No more tape. That's my
What's
philosophy.
nice is that it just slides right in here like this on both sides. Put it around the antler, or if you like Ross said, a turkey around both, around the legs, and it's going to hold it in there really tight and nice. And then to access your tag, it's just a nice zip top. So if you are not watching this on YouTube and you're listening, the bag, I don't know, it fits in the palm of your hand. It is
3.5 by 3.5 probably.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right.
With a little zipper on the top to access your tag. Super easy to use. And then, yes, if you run into a game warden and someone needs to see your tag, you don't have to unravel your whole deal. You just unzip it, show the tag, and you're good to go again.
Yep.
So,
Or like if you take it to a butcher, you don't have to. You can put it on the quarter, and the paper's just inside, and you show him down. He writes it, and then
yep, you're on your merry way.
So I have
super
mine
simple.
connected to my speaker.
There you go.
To my mic. So if you had to connect it to any part of an animal, you could just puncture a hole, put it through. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be an antler.
Right.
Yeah,
It'll
it could
stay
be.
just the
It could
same.
be anything.
Yep.
Yeah,
And-
through an ear.
And you could take it off very easily and then put it back on or whatever. So identifying your stuff is easy.
That and it's blaze orange, so you're not going to lose it.
Dude, blaze orange is clutch with all your stuff after the shot. Like if you're an archery hunter, everything after you shoot and get the animal down should be blaze orange, in my opinion.
Yep, that's
Because-
why I did it.
Yeah, you're going to be losing stuff. I mean, I have my knife over there, my piranha. It's blaze orange. Everything I have a blaze orange ink pen. Like just because I don't want to lose that stuff. In my notepad, it's orange. I have a Write in the Rain blaze orange notepad. Just because when you're down, in the brush, things are going to happen, and you're like, okay, let's get the meat, let's get out of here, and you're going to forget your knife, or you're going to forget everything.
Right.
Whatever you put down that's not bright is going to be left behind, and I don't go back. Dave knows that.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Plus, when it's in your pack, it's easier to where did I put that thing?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yes,
Very
it's-
easy. I mean, a lot of hunters, you're doing a lot of stuff at night. It just happens.
Right.
You're doing a lot of stuff at night. This blaze orange, it's going to glow in the dark pretty much. So, I mean, this is awesome.
And also,
I like that.
And also, like if you're carrying your elk or deer out of the woods with the antlers up, and you're coming over horizon, and some guy sees his antlers, and all of a sudden he sees an orange thing. He's like, "Whoa,
Something's not right there.
Right.
Yeah.
He might put his gun down, if it, whatever. So, yeah, obviously safety is also in the thought process of the orange. And a lot of these tag wallets, I mean, if you follow my Instagram, I post pictures of everybody, they send me their pictures and I put them on there. They've been on almost everything except one animal in North America, and that is a bighorn sheep,
Ooh.
which if you combine these together, will fit around a bighorn sheep. The first person to send me that picture, I might have to give you a lot of goodies.
Oh, that's awesome. Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Obviously not by me, though, because I got like 2 points. So.
They don't work so well on the horns of a mountain goat because of how the mountain goat horn tapers.
Yeah.
But
I could see that.
You can really strap them down like an outfitter in Utah. He put them on his, and he's like, it worked. He says, but we just ended up, poking a hole through the ear.
Yep, that's what I'd probably do.
Yeah, I have a story I actually want to share with you because I didn't have a tag wallet, and now that you shared the experience, I actually lost my tag to a coyote. So we were hunting the Mount Adams Wilderness area, and I shot a deer, and we did the electrical tape thing. We put it on there, tape it on, but we taped it on the ear because all the meat was in the cooler. We had the head, and it was like the last part. We had to keep everything there. So the last section of the animal at night, we were staying in a tent, and we heard some footsteps running around camp, and we just get up and yell, "Hey, get out of there!" We heard. I think it was trying to open the lid even to the cooler. It was just like it was messing around that cooler. But anyhow, it took the head off, and that next morning I went out and I sent my buddy back into town. He was going to take the meat back, and we didn't have any tags. So I was like, oh my God. So when you said take it off, put it on, I think it'd be super sweet, at nighttime when you got something hanging, you can just take it off, keep it with you. That way your animals don't take it away. If you had something coming
Let's say you're hanging some meat and all of a sudden something comes through and swipes some of your meat. And
Yeah.
in
happens.
camp, it's like I did lose a tag that way. So it's one of those things where I was on edge and kind of nervous about it the whole time because they might be like, oh, yeah, right. Try to accuse you of something. But at the same time, it'd be nice to be able to retain that tag and then just put it back with whatever. And I'm sitting here thinking about all sorts of reasons or purposes for this type of thing.
Well, it's kind of I've lost the tag, back in the day as well. I think at that time I used, the survey tape, and I tried tying my thing on there, and we got to the car, and all of a sudden it wasn't there, and we had to backtrack, try to find it, and we could never find it. Luckily, we never got checked by the time we got home, so that was pretty cool. But it was a couple years ago now. Steven Ranella on his Meat Eater show, he was hunting in Wyoming, and he lost his tag, but they ended up finding it like the next day. Well, I know Jason, and I called Jason. I'm like, hey, if I send you a tag wallet, will you give it to Steve? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I gave it to him. Steve, he says Steve has it, but I have yet to see it on any video or anything, or even if he uses it. But I'm waiting, because if that ever makes it on that show,
people will see it.
Yeah, man. That's all it takes, really.
Yep.
That's all it takes.
Yep.
Or let's say we have a video that explodes.
Right.
Show us walking out with the tag wallet.
And the hardest part about inventing something, like creating something, you went through 5 renditions of design, and
Which I think is fantastic. This is awesome. This is really cool.
And with my experience of manufacturing a product is you go through your R&D stage, and then I think we talked to Dirk about this same type thing, but you go through your R&D stage, and then you develop this thing, you're like, this is great. Now you have to let people be aware that it's in existence.
Right. Right.
And then now that it's in existence, why do they need it, and how does it benefit them? And I can't see a negative. There's no negative point of having something securely hold your tags. I don't see that.
Yeah.
Like it's only positive.
Only positive.
Convenient, and the convenience and ease. I'm like, okay.
Well, not only that, it comes with everything you need already. Like Ross has already got it all hooked up to where you have everything that you need right in here, and these are reusable. So as long as you don't cut it, you're going to have it for a while.
And it literally, the way I send it, is with the sticker, the instructions, the zip ties. It's 0.06 ounces. It's less than an ounce.
Yeah. So if you're an ounce crusher, in your back in the back country, this is still essential. Like, there's no reason why it shouldn't be in your pack. It weighs absolutely nothing.
Better than a roll of electrical tape, tell you that.
Yeah. Big old fat roll of electrical
Some guys
tape.
are even just carrying their whole hunting license in there.
Yeah.
Keeping it, and they're buying a harness, So.
Yeah.
That's the way to do
you
it.
can.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you can't figure this out, it does have instructions.
Well,
what's that one? Number 1 says front towards enemy.
it's funny. So before Crazyelk, I was on a pro staff with some other stuff, and I had some friends. And then when I came out with Crazyelk, I'm like, okay, how am I going to market this? And I reached out to guys that were on the pro staff with me. Said, hey, if I send you guys some of the stuff, would you guys use it and post pictures? Well, one of them, I don't want to name him because I don't want to embarrass him, but he kept sending me pictures of the tag wallet, but it was never attached to the animal. Like, he had his animal here, and the tag wallet was on the ground. And I'm like,
oh.
and I told him, I said, why aren't you putting your tag in there and attaching it to the animal? And he's like, well, I thought it was just to carry my license. I'm like, no, that's not what it's for. If by the name tag wallet, I guess you might think it's to carry your tags, but which you can do. But yeah, it's actually after the heart, after you kill.
Yeah, well, number 1, kill animal.
Right.
Right there, number 1. Yeah.
Priorities are in line.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to have like a little paper punch for your tag date. Like done.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, because it's a pain in the ass to carve that thing out with a little blade.
Especially if you're out in the middle of there's no rocks, or let's say you're in the desert.
Yeah, that'd be an easy way. You could just be like, punch
It
your
just
tag.
needs to be notched in a V. like a V one.
Yeah, because I don't think they like a circle. The whole thing has to be gone, and it has to be
Or it needs to be like
But they make those. They make all kinds of
weird
Hole
punches.
punches.
yeah.
Something like backcountry that you could just, hey man, put this in here.
Maybe I'll have to
Ginsu.
start doing some Googling and put like an orange handle on it. It says Crazyelk or something.
Yeah,
there
right?
you go.
That's how you do
Just-
it.
Yeah, just like a weird V punch, or it needs to be like, I don't know, like a little rectangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice just to get that out of the way. Because
Yeah, because it is a pain in the butt.
well, that little piece of paper, Washington State is like, it's kind of rubbery now, and you go to cut it, if you set it on something, you do the carve thing, you can carve it out, but you got to, I'm always sketchy.
Like that carve right there?
Yeah,
Yep.
like the V notch.
Yep,
Yeah.
just like that. Yep. Yeah, constantly getting it on an antler or a stump or a rock or whatever.
Right.
To try to get something on. Washington State tags are just weird in general. A lot of them now are all going E tags. There's some that are paper tags now. Like you have to print out the big old sheet of paper. It's like
So I have an e-tag system too, but the funny thing with the e-tags is, they require you to call in or report it, but you still have to have
a tag.
a tag.
Transport
so what's,
tag, yeah.
So
And
what's
that's what this is for.
So what's why?
Exactly. If you already have to do it, why do the e-tag?
Right.
Just notch your tag, put it on the animal.
And if you get checked, you get checked.
Use your Crazyelk tag wallet. You're good to go.
The e-tag thing, I have no, scientific basis for this little bit I'm going to add here. Other than the fact that in Washington, we have the mountain lions they have like so much per unit, right? And you're supposed to report within 24 hours of getting one.
Right.
And if you're in a place where there's game, and say they give you they say, okay, we have moose tags, right? We're going to give out 2. That's about our state. Here's 2 moose tags.
Yeah.
So per whatever area, not very good odds of getting one. But it's 100% success rate. Let's say they had a 60% or 50% success rate and they gave out 4. And that's what they were counting on for game management. And they're like, okay, it's 4. We're going to give out 4 tags now. The first 2 people that tag out, once they report, season's closed. So you don't want people having like extra opportunity, but 100% success rates. If you're counting on 50 or 60% on all the tags, and you're like, oh, we're at 70%. Shit, we need to stop this thing. So that would be the only But
how do you stop it?
Just how they do fishing here. Just like the Columbia, they just send out an emergency post, and it says like, it's closed now.
Okay.
Or Friday will be closed.
But if you're a backcountry hunter
With no service.
with no service,
Well, then that's the way it is.
So
it is their thing.
This happened in the Blues a couple years ago. In some spots up there, you can get service, but most of the times you can't. Like if you're in a canyon or
in the canyons, you're doing God nothing.
Going into the rifle elk season, they were 8. I want to say they were 8 cougars away from their quota. Coming out of that rifle season, they were 12 over.
That shows how they had too many extras.
Right? Because
They had room to go there.
If you're in the woods, it's not like you're going to get on your phone every day. It's not. I mean, if you can't get service, you can't get on their website or get in your email and check if the cat season's closed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they have to take that margin of error into next year. That's the part of the game management is if they have an issue, then they say next year we're going to lower that number by 4 and then see what happens and how soon it closes, and then they get a better idea. But even if you send 50,000 people into the woods in one day,
Yeah.
They could kill 1,000 cougars. It could be like pretty bad.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the day, but they're, how that goes.
Well, it's
It's
not
about
like
seeing them and having the shot opportunity and all that other stuff that goes with it.
It's not like our commissioners listen to our biologists anyway in this state.
Yeah, there's not enough science, right?
Yeah.
Didn't we just get a new commissioner?
We got 3. We got 3 new commissioners.
Mm-hmm.
And that gal, she retired or she stepped down.
She stepped down.
She's out of there regardless.
She did?
I think so, yeah.
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 I'm pretty.
One? Which one?
The lady from Evergreen State Bear Lovers Association.
Was this recent?
I think it was 2 months ago. I thought
it was
she
like
stepped down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she stepped down.
I know they got a
Whatever
new lead guy.
well, I think her last name was Smith or something.
Lorna Smith, the one that
Lorna,
they,
yeah.
Yeah,
Lorna.
yeah.
So she did step down.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, because Sportsman's Alliance sued her because she was running on 2 commissions.
Yeah,
And
the Bear Lovers one.
And per And, per state law, you weren't allowed to be on 2 type of commissions. I did not hear that she stepped down.
I'm pretty sure. No, I'm not 100%.
When we take a break, we'll verify. But I thought she did too.
Oh, well, that's news to me, but that's great because she was horrible.
Yeah. Well, she was the one that kept on preaching there's not enough science, there's not enough science, there's not enough science.
No. It was science. It was social science. We have to be aware of the social science, which bullcrap.
Whatever.
Well, she was involved in a activist position with a predator society, So like they like the predators and they want to promote predator survival and coexistence and all these other things. So when I found out what happened, I did some research on her, just Google and look and read, and I was like, how is she even allowed to hold that position in a commission over wildlife management when she's clearly biased and it wouldn't matter what anybody said? Mm-hmm. There's nothing you could have said to that person that would have helped them to go, we need to kill more bears because there's way too many.
Yeah, exactly.
She would have been like, she could have let that bear eat her children, and she'd been like, it has life and rights. Like, seriously, that's the type of person that we're dealing with on that. But so that's what I thought. And let's take a break because we got to verify this Lorna Smith. And then when we come back, we'll have the truth on Lorna Smith.
This section of the broadcast is brought to you by Burpaw, burpaw.com.
Use Ridge 15 at checkout to receive a sweet discount.
Just south of that.
All right, everybody, we are back from break, and I was wrong.
We have some devastating news if you haven't heard. If you haven't heard,
I hate to bust your bubble.
or if you're under the misconception that Lorna Smith is off the commission, it is false.
Yeah, she is still, doing her thing.
She's currently being sued, but it has not come to fruition yet.
Okay. Well, we hope for the best. Knock on wood, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Get that
Gosh,
going.
dang. That sucks. But, yeah, it is what it is. Our commission is not not the best. Hopefully it gets better.
Well,
But we got to start from the top and work our way down. So.
Well, Inslee's not going for his next term. If we can actually get a hunting-loving governor in there / Republican, like that Bird guy, he's running, and he said that one of his priorities will be to shake up that commission. Hopefully, let them all go and just get a whole new,
A clean slate.
Yep.
And that's kind of where we just need it here just for Washington State, period.
Yep.
We need a clean slate.
Well, when I was in the Washington State Master Hunter program for 10 years, and I think on the show I had mentioned this before, but they preach to you about land carrying capacity. What happens to the animals when they're more animals than the land can carry, and the percentage of animals that die every single year just based on incidences in their daily adventure, right? Like what they're trying to avoid is conflict with humans that lead to their death. So these animals, they die. They die from starvation. They die from predation from other animals. They die from sicknesses and diseases. And they die from getting hit by cars. And they die from getting hunted by humans. Mm-hmm. But I probably missed 10 or 20 different reasons why they die. What they try to avoid is animals that they become so plentiful that they die from a disease they can't stop.
Yes.
Because if there's so many in one space, they get sick and then they all get sick. And then they had a whole island of animals, I think it was elk in California, that just died from an illness because they had too many in a small location. So it's okay that animals die. It's just not okay if they all die at the same time. And what they're trying to do is give people the access to the amount of overage that the land carrier is going to lose each year.
Yeah, the spillover.
Well, they have a percentage. They're saying, 30% of these animals are going to die this year. Mm-hmm. We want that percentage to go to use to humans. But in reality, they're just giving us permission to do what we should be able to do anyway. I don't understand. I mean, I get conservation part of it. But, but when you have the evidence and you know the science of why these things take place and then you choose to willfully ignore it, it's like an automatic disqualifier. Like there shouldn't have to be a reason for anybody to say, well, why did you come to this conclusion? It's like you're blatantly biased, you don't care about science, and you definitely don't care about preservation of a species. More or less your own. We're not talking about extinction or annihilation. We're talking about opportunity. And I hunted, spring bear forever. I never killed a spring bear. But I always paid. I always paid my tag fees. And the times I got drawn, I went out and I bought fuel and food and ammunition and all this other stuff that went into Pittman-Robertson funds that perpetuated wildlife conservation. That a lot of people never even heard of Pittman-Robertson Act. So these are all the money that sportsmen spend in certain categories go to conservation, evenly split amongst your state, right?
Yep.
So that's a benefit directly to conservation, whether or not you believe in it or not. That money's going there. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to get off my soapbox, but a long story short is it's a lot harder to kill a bear in the springtime than it is in the fall. They're hard to spot, and there's not a whole lot of them, and the brush is really green and growing fast. So I had 2 opportunities, missed both, and they were split seconds. It wasn't, I like to think I could do something different, but it was a long season, and the last week you see them, you get jacked up,
Yeah.
So
I've never been drawn for a spring tag. I've been putting in for 20-something years, and I've never drawn. Why, I have no idea. I literally actually shot my first bear this past fall during elk season.
Oh, yeah.
I've had an opportunity before, and I screwed it up, which that in itself is kind of a funny story. But, we're going on, this is the second season where the spring bear has been closed.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing in the news, they're saying bears are showing up in Issaquah, walking through neighborhoods. Well, why do you think? Mm-hmm. You said, bears needed to be protected, so we're stopping this spring bear season. But now there's so many bears, they're coming into your neighborhoods and into your garbage cans and the rich people's neighborhoods. I don't think anything's going to change until somebody's kid gets taken by a cat or a bear. Then that'll be the wake-up factor for them.
And I've thought that too, because who was the mayor of Seattle who got mauled by a bear on a trail?
I don't know.
There was a mayor of Seattle. Once you look it up, he got mauled by a bear. He was over in Snoqualmie National Forest, and it was just before Jenny Durkin, I think. Mike something. Anyhow, he was up there with his dog. His dog somehow alerted a bear, and it mauled him and his dog. And I was sitting here, I was like, that probably wouldn't have happened if they had better game management. But, there's a lot of places where they have extremely poor game management, and the only thing that benefits is the wildlife, but the people suffer. And there's more encounters with humans, and they're gonna have to weigh all those factors. And I tend to agree that when something happens that way, they're gonna be like, oh, let's. So
it was a Bellevue council member.
Was it?
Yeah, that was mauled by a bear in 2018 by Lake Wenatchee.
Yeah. yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, he was pretty brutalized there.
Yeah.
But I thought, I'd hate to get killed by a bear. And
I'm sorry. It was September of 2010.
That long ago?
No, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, no.
Might
Yeah.
have been a couple of them.
No.
Anyway, bear encounters are becoming
September 18th, 2010.
more and more prevalent. Every year there seems to be more stories. And one, since COVID, a lot more people are in the woods than there used to be. Like if you go to any trailhead.
Yeah, hikers, mountain bikers.
It is just crazy. And if you follow like some of those pages on Facebook, I saw I've never seen a bear up here before, and now I've seen 3. And
Yeah, I'm a part of those groups too. It's like Washington hikers of whatever.
Right.
Trying to get the inside information.
That's right.
Well,
That's right.
Just last year in Snoqualmie, they had to close that state park because the bears were coming in there, and getting in the garbage cans, and it was unsafe for the campers there. I'm like, well, let us in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let a couple people go in there and shoot them.
The one thing we know for a fact is you can't relocate a bear. They
just go right back.
Yeah, they go right back.
They just go right back. They know what they're doing.
Once they're habitualized and they try to take them out and relocate them, they know that that's a dead bear pretty much. It's just on borrowed time.
Yeah.
That's proven everywhere. You
They
go.
just
Don't matter.
do it for the show. We're relocating it. Don't worry.
Yeah. They're like, relocate the bear. Okay, turn the cameras off. Sorry,
Pretty
bear.
much. Yeah, pretty
no
much.
Sense. Yeah, that's craziness. So I got drawn for spring bear, and the thing that I realized, they're not very prevalent. They're very. I feel like the spring bear tag is more designed for people to keep the bears moving, because they would give out in this area I was going. They would give out 50 tags, and out of 50 tags, how many bears do you think they killed out of 50 per that season, 2-month season?
If you're thinking of the area that I'm
Don't
thinking
answer
of,
if you know the answer.
20.
One bear.
Really?
Out of 50 tags, one bear. And it was year after year. It was only one bear would get killed.
Wow.
The max would be about 3.
Yeah.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I put in for the same tag.
Yeah.
That was the last
So-
tag I drew was in that area.
I was sitting there, and we're looking at the numbers, and I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure that they just want us to go in there and drive around and make these bears not get comfortable in one spot. Because we'll go in there one week, and the next week we go in, and there's a whole section of trees where they've just eaten the cambium layer of bark out from like 70 trees.
Yep.
And then they'll be off the trees, and they'll be moving around. But when they're on trees early, I'm pretty sure they just want you to keep them moving and not let them get comfortable. Like if you're in there and you have 50 vehicles moving around, because you're spotting, you're not seeing anything. Okay, let's move over to the other side. And we were just trying to get different angles on these massive clear cuts. So that was our strategy. Is like, okay, here's how this ravine system works. We need to be able to get point of view if we go over here, and it might be 4 or 5 miles around to get to the other side just to look. But we would try to get different angles in to look at these clear cuts, because you would sometimes be able to pick one out from the other side that you couldn't see from this side.
Right.
So that was our strategy. And I'm sure that helped the bears not get comfortable. And that's how Luke got his second bear,
Yeah, that would have been the last one that you guys drew. The last
spring tag.
spring tag, yeah.
Yeah.
And I drew the year after. It was either before or after that, and almost got a bear with my son with me. He was the tall boy.
Right.
He was with me, and he was probably 5, 6, somewhere around there, maybe 7. I don't know. He was tiny.
My whole life, I've seen bears all the time, except when I'm hunting them or when I have a tag in my pocket.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And
It's kind of funny like that.
especially in that late rifle season where I hunt. I've seen a couple bears, and one year I actually had a bear across the canyon from me and ranged it. And it was a little farther than I like to shoot. It was like 550. But I'm like, well, what the hell? It's just a bear. There's nothing else over there. So I just sat there and took my time, and it was just feeding. And I shot, and I could tell I hit low, so I, adjusted, and I shot again. And when I shot, it went up on its hind legs, and it took off over the stump, and then I never saw it again. Well, I was about, I don't know. I didn't know if I killed it. I didn't hear anything, and I was about a mile from camp from where I was at. But to get to where he was at, because he was across the canyon, was another couple miles to go up and down. And I went back to camp, and my buddies are sitting there eating lunch, and I walk in there. I'm like, hey, you guys want to go help me find this bear? And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, let's go find this bear. So we go over there, and we're in the clearing where I shot him, and I'm looking across because I made like a big tripod of these big branches so I could figure out where I was shooting from. And I was looking, and above me I could see the stump that he disappeared behind. And my friend Woody, he's 6'5", he's a huge dude, and he was the closest to the stump. And we're on, it's a pretty steep grade. And I'm like, Woody, that's the log that it jumped over, and it was the last time I saw it. So he starts walking up to that stump, and all of a sudden he just falls on his ass. He literally came up over the stump, and that bear was staring at him on the other side of the stump.
Oh, crap.
Right. And then the bear took off, and it went over like a little finger, and we all tried throwing our gun on it, but it was just a butt,
Yeah.
Plus I forgot to dial down my scope because I was shooting from across the canyon. I had it all dialed, way up. And so when I put my scope up, it was just hair. And it disappeared over the finger, and then all of a sudden we just started hearing this ripping. Here it came right back at us.
Oh, my God.
Right. And, I mean, all this happened within a couple of seconds, right? So I already had my finger or my safety off because when I tried to shoot before, and it was coming at me. And just before it got to me, it turned, and it started going downhill. And it like I said, it was really steep. So I just kind of was running with my rifle in one hand. And don't do this at home, kids. This is not proper hunter safety. I was like in a mid leap, and all of a sudden my rifle went off.
Oh.
Right? And I turn around, and my buddy Woody is hunched over, grabbing his belly.
Oh, no.
And I thought, oh my God, I just killed my best friend. And then he started busting up laughing. Right? Because he just thought the whole thing was just a circus, and it was just funny. Anyway, I didn't get the bear. And we can laugh about it now, but for that sport,
Oh, man, that would have been heart-dropping.
oh my God. And I was like, ever since then, I am so anal about, safety
Safeties
and not putting my finger on the trigger. And yeah, that was like 20 years ago, but still doesn't make an excuse for it. But yeah, when I turned around and he was hunched over, I was a ghost. I was like, oh my God, I just killed my best friend,
Yeah, Jesus. I had a funny story about my. I should exclude the names and places and faces. So I took a guy hunting. He was from Arizona, and he was brand new, just moved up here. And my buddy that I hunted with a long time, he went with us, and we went separate ways. And this guy, he wanted to go deer hunting. I can't remember. I think we were using bows. So I decided it would be funny. I was like, this is gonna be funny to play a joke on my buddy, because he went a separate way. So we're waiting in this little place when everybody's coming back towards the truck. We're waiting in the spot, and we hear him coming down the trail. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be good. Don't move. Just get down low. And so we get down real low. And we start making these little noises. So my buddy's like, oh shit, there's something down here. He starts sneaking up on us with his bow. I didn't see his arrow or nothing, right? He's not walking around with a bow drawn, but he had his bow in his hand, right? So he's sneaking up, thinking there's something crunching, and I'm just laughing inside him, snapping little sticks and stuff. But I don't know what the hell kind of hat this other guy was wearing that was hiding with me in the bushes. Like, but my buddy goes, "Get up, you son of a bitch! I almost shot you in the head." He's like, "Your head looked just like a rabbit."
Oh, yeah, that would have been bad.
He's like, if I was just some kid walking through here, I would have definitely shot at that. And I don't remember him wearing a rabbit hat, but it's always good to be careful because you never know what other people see.
Right, right.
And the experience level. If that was a new kid, who knows what could happen. We were 20 feet from the road, which is like when we just heard him come, we just hopped off the log road. But I thought. I never thought that would be a part of the conversation that day. But he was mad all the way back to the truck, man. He was not happy with us. He was like, "Oh shit," probably mainly because there was nothing there,
Right.
But then the other side of you, your stomach does twist. You're thinking like, "Oh crap, what could have happened?" And that moment of me, having a good time with somebody and having a new guy, showing him something funny. This is gonna be funny. We're gonna fool this guy.
Well, I mean, he probably learned a lesson. Not going to do that again.
Yeah, we all did, and it's important to don't try to pretend like you're an animal during hunting season if you're especially with your buddies and stuff. And there's always
unless you're acting like a bull. I think you can get away with acting like a bull and a cow.
That's at the Coweeman call.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There's wild horses out there.
Have you ever seen those?
No, I've known that they're out there, but I've never actually seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy, when we go out there, we see him pretty much every single time.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to ask you what road, because I've always wanted to go out there and see them.
I might have it on my Onyx.
Yeah, I have the deal on there too. And while I'm on here, I'm not going to find the pictures, but I have some pictures from last season, or was it season
2
before
seasons
that?
ago. Yeah.
We went on like a 5 to 6 mile loop or something up there, and pretty much the whole time, as soon as you get out of the truck and you were walking, we went past the gate to the right, maybe 100 yards. There's horses right there.
Really?
Yeah, they kind of roam. There's like this lower bowl that they hang out at, and then there's like an upper hill that they kind of roam around at. They're either in those 2 spots every single time we go out there.
Well, I mean, over there by Prosser, they call that area the wild horse.
Oh yeah,
wild.
We've been there.
Yeah, so that's because they used to roam all those areas. So
going towards Goldendale, Prosser.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, it's always cool to see them, and even though they're wild, you're not thinking these things are actually wild because they look just like a regular domesticated horse.
It's called Horse Heaven Hills. That's what it's called, Horse Heaven Hills.
In that little valley in between the okay.
Yep.
Is that where they let the horses go that people don't want anymore? They just
some people will. Some people will getting into horses. Some horses, if their back is a certain way, you can't ride them. So a lot of people will just be like, "Well, I'm not going to ride this horse. I'm not going to waste my feet on it." Sometimes they just let them go out
in
there.
That area.
Yeah,
and that's part of the Yakima tribe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tribal lands. Yeah.
Yep.
I'd like to know how many horses there are running around because it'd be pretty sick to see like a couple thousand of them running.
Yeah, I have no idea what the number is.
I think you are allowed to take them out of the wild too.
Oh, I won't be doing that.
Like
if
trap
you
them?
No. You can't trap it.
Or
you have to freaking bareback that thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not me.
Oh, cowboy style.
Not me either.
That'd be crazy.
My bareback horse catching days are long gone, bud.
Yeah, I like my back. I got other stuff to do.
Yeah, no doubt. That's crazy. So we did. We have been to that area, that Horse Heaven Wilderness, and
It's pretty cool.
all through. Is that the 84? Is that Freeway 84 or Highway 84?
Yeah,
84,
that's 84. Yeah.
So probably 20 miles of that road we were seeing nonstop horses on. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool. The first time.
Yeah, the first time through, where it was like, oh my gosh.
I guess I'm gonna have to drive it more. I haven't.
If you take
I've
84,
never seen.
you take 84 all the way
from
over.
Yakima. So like if you go through Yakima, take 84 towards like Topnish, you'll see them all day long.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're There's places you can pull off though.
Yeah.
You know,
And you can glass them up, and
there's some pretty ones too. If you want to go down just on the backside of Spirit Lake, there's a bunch of them. You know, and that's not a long drive. We'll give you the Onyx coordinates for that because it's fairly easy to get to. It's like a couple 100-yard walk, and there'd be wild horses there guaranteed.
I think the kids would like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see.
I had a picture with 4 different horses side by side, like in the same pose. I'll show it to you.
Oh yeah,
I should. Let me
think
disconnect this. Let me try to see if I can find it real quick. This is going to be.
I think I took that photo.
Let me see if I can freeze this. Let's go to.
While he's doing that, you should show people the reed holder on your hat there.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually get in front of the camera so you guys can see this.
Not all that. Actually, mine has it too. Not all my hats have it, just a few of them. But if you're like me, you know, I bought that one that goes on the lid, but it fell off and lost. Anyway, I built a little thing that just holds the reed. It only holds one, unfortunately. I've tried to go with multiple, like, so you grab 2. Well, you might be able to 2 on top of each other.
Yeah, you could probably get some in there, but no, that was actually really cool. I'm definitely gonna use it.
Plus, I like the flag on the side.
So I disconnected the video because I didn't want you guys seeing a billion little photos.
There might be a picture in here you're not supposed to see.
I'll do this. I'll show you a picture of the last bear Luke took on Spring Bear. So we're reconnecting our video here.
So obviously we've transferred out of turkey season, where turkey season is now done.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're telling me. So goose egg for me.
Goose egg for me and everybody I hunted with. It was
Oh my gosh.
the worst year I've never got skunked with somebody, me or in my group.
So someone in your party is tagged.
Right. And this year, so I went, I don't know if your listeners know, but in Washington State, we have 3 types of turkeys. Mm-hmm. We have the Eastern, which is on the west side of the state. We have the Merriam, and then we have the Rio Grande. Merriams, sorry. And if you get all 3 of those, it's called the Slam. Well, I got the Slam 2 years ago. And last year, I almost had it again. I missed the Eastern. And this year, it was just in the back of my mind to go. So opening weekend, I went, but it was pouring like nobody's business. You know, and I'm like, after like 4 hours of that, I just I'm done. You know, hiked out of there and went home. Then the next weekend, I took my daughter, who just passed her hunter safety course, and took her just north of Spokane there. And we heard turkeys. We seen turkeys. She learned her lesson the hard way. You know, I brought a blind, and because, you know, I know she's fidgety like little kids are.
Yep.
Figured it'd be a good cover. But she got impatient. And after 4 hours, we had a hen come by us, and we had some deer go by us and everything, but no toms. And it was like 4.5 hours, and she's like, "Dad, can we go out and go for a walk?" And I'm like, I said, "It's only 9:30. Let's give it a little bit more." And she's like, "Nope, I want to go." She goes to the back of the blind, unzips it. She's like, "Dad." I look through there. There's a tom running away. It was coming. If she could have waited even 15 more minutes, she probably would have had her tom.
That sucks.
Yeah, but she loved it, like in the morning and evening, you know, when they were going to roost. Like, she didn't even know turkeys sat in trees. You know, I never explained that to her before. So we're in there in the dark, and you know, for the first half hour, it was just silence. And she's like, "Why are we sitting here?" And I'm like, just wait. And finally, when they go off, she was like, "Wow, that's cool." And I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "They'll talk for another hour before they hit the ground." And the one we had him, because we treated him the night before. I thought he was by himself. I was within 150 yards. I'm like, this guy's coming. Shoot. As soon as he hit the ground, he went the other way. You know, and if I was by myself, because he was talking when he was walking away, I could have easily, you know, found a way to intercept him and get him, but she couldn't keep up. And, you know, being as young as she is, she's not like can just throw the gun up and shoot.
Right,
she knows she has to be settled.
Go
and all
through
that.
the process and everything.
Yeah, and then the next week, I went with my buddies, And my one buddy should have had a turkey, but he didn't. And then I did like just throw caution to the wind. I woke up at midnight, drove over to that area I was just telling you about. I met my buddy Eric Broughton, who's a biologist for the state. He's a freaking turkey guru. And we couldn't get turkeys like we heard them. We had them going off. We had this one tom for an hour. Every time we called, bam, right back. Well, then it turns out there was another one below him. So there was two, and that one had a hen. And we figured he didn't want to come because he already got his ass kicked by the one that was lower.
Oh,
with the hen, right? Yeah, it was just everything went wrong. Like they just were not receptive. They were always with hens. I could not get anything to come in. It was, for me, I didn't get a bird. It was a good year. I had fun, but, I want to get a
not
turkey.
to tag, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so, our first, one of our first podcasts in the turkey season, we were talking about going for the slam, and obviously that didn't happen. But Dave's hunt was, done, super fast. Instantaneous. We were in the woods for, I don't know.
Hour?
200 yards? Not very far.
We were 200 yards from our camp or so,
No, well, it was probably quarter mile. Whatever. It was probably quarter mile up some steep grade hill. We're hunting mountain turkeys. But it was just super fast, It was awesome hunt. It was fast.
I didn't quite catch that. Please try again in a little while.
Do you have Alexa going
Someone's
on
phone. That
What's
might
up,
be mine.
Not me. I don't have Alexa.
Oh, yeah. Shh.
That was you?
Quiet.
Girlfriend's listening.
Yeah. But for me, I had bad luck, man. I'd pull up a tom that had a hen with him, and the hen would come and check it out, and then
Block your shot, basically.
Cock block me. And it was like that pretty much the whole season. It was like that pretty much the whole season. I heard though, Memorial Day weekend was really good because
don't tell me that. That's the one weekend I didn't go.
Well, I couldn't go either. That was a part of my plan, but my son had a baseball tournament and this, that, and the other thing. It's just dang.
Yeah,
It's one of those things. I think the last weekend that we went with Cameron was the last weekend I was able to go, just because there was just so much going on this year that I wasn't able to get as much turkey hunting in as I wanted to.
Well, we'd already done a bunch too,
Yeah, I was already 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot of work if you're going, 6 hours. You're spending 12 hours driving from here, and then so we're 36 hours of driving just in that 3 weeks.
Well, I'm trying to use these things to encourage my wife that we need to move to the other side of the state, right? But my wife is a sloth when it comes to moving, one, because her twin sister lives literally a block away. Our kids go to the same school. Her older sister lives 5 miles away. So she's like, I'm not leaving. Plus, we bought the house we live in, we bought from her parents. And it's the house that she grew up in. She's like, I'm never moving. And I'm like, but honey, you always get tired of me being gone every weekend and not home. And it takes, it takes 5 hours to get there, 5 hours to get back, for where I like to go. There are, you can go 2 hours, but the turkey hunting is not as good. I'm like, where if we lived over there, I could just go in the morning and come back in the afternoon. It's just right there. Especially, and even with fishing, there's so many lakes. And she works from home, and I'm like, what's holding us back?
Yep.
I can.
That's my wife. She works from home.
Yeah.
We can move anywhere.
But she just won't do it.
It's hard to beat Western Washington in the summer, man.
Well, that is true.
And it's
it's beautiful over here.
It's one of those places where I've fantasized about leaving, and I could find a million reasons to go, but I've lived in New Jersey and I've been to Florida for a solid 30-day stretch at a time in the summertime. So when I was younger, my dad would be pretty much in the field for 6 months a year, basically. So during the summertime, we'd get out of school. My mom would take us to Florida. We'd go down there for 30 days. And that is some of the hottest. That's the worst time to be there, by the way.
Well, and humid too, right?
Hot and humid.
Yeah.
And in the summer, it's constantly over 100 degrees, 100% humidity. We were there one year, just a couple of years ago. It was 115 degrees, 100% humidity. and that was like the hottest week they had in like 12 years. It was brutally hot.
Yeah.
But there's all sorts of stuff we don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Like
snakes.
I don't really worry about much.
Alligators.
Well, yeah, just bodies of water, hurricane.
Sharks.
You know, like if you live in Florida, every single year, you could be a victim of a hurricane.
Yeah. What is it from August till like November or something like that?
They're about to jump in hurricane season right now, and it's like your odds of getting hit by one, they're not very good. Like my family down there is like, oh, we have hurricane season, we have hurricane watch parties where we just go and drink a bunch. I'm like, well, dude, you guys are literally. They projected it to come your way, and you're like, "This is going to be great. Let's have a bunch of tequila." That's your solution. Like I'm sitting here, I'm scared of like, we have earthquakes and stuff. There's really no way you can prepare for an earthquake to hit because we don't know when it's going to hit. But they're watching a tornado or a hurricane. They're like, "Oh yeah, this is going to be great," and just big breezy, windy thing. That's not my style. It's just not. Yeah. And I can't deal with that every single year for 3 months of the year.
Yeah.
So, there's always something to complain about somewhere you go and. I've wanted to move east, big time because there's a lot of nice stuff over there.
Oh yeah,
but brutally cold a lot of the time.
And you get your extremes because you're going to get the hot summers and you're going to get the cold winters. I mean, that's mainly how the rest of the dang country is, except for the West Coast, from Vancouver, pretty much, or even the Yukon, all the way down. Don't count Alaska. It's only 70 up there,
right?
in the summertime, and you're gonna have flies landing in your eyeballs all the way down. So I mean, like the west side is awesome, but yeah, we don't get the cold winters. We don't get the super hot summers. I mean, summer here started a month ago. I mean, it's been 70 plus for a while now.
It's been nice weather.
Yeah, it's been really nice.
Not like, some years it gets super hot where you're just like, dude, you wake up in the morning, you see the sunshine, you're like, God, again.
Yeah.
But, and when I lived in New Jersey, it was 5 degrees at the bus stop. When I was in high school, it was 5 degrees at the bus stop. And in the summer, you didn't want to go outside and run ball at all. Some of my friends would come over and, hey, let's go to the court. It's like, dude, it is so
I'm already sweaty.
As soon as they open the back door,
7:00 in the morning, I'm not
my
doing
eyeballs
it.
would squint like Ren and Stimpy, and I'd go back to the N64. Like, nope, not happening. Well, you see me in here playing 007, right? Let's play 007, dude. We don't got to mess around with that court. Wait till evening time. So, yeah, it was a good time. So I want to share this picture. This is the last bear. This is the last spring bear that trip we went on. I'll go back here. So prior to him actually shooting this bear, it's going to download. We were looking at these rubs, and you can see
why the tree farms want us in there.
Well, up here, there's like scratch marks. He's looking at the backside scratch marks of this tree.
Right.
And let's see if I can get back to this is on our way up. We saw these little rubs. This is a big elk dealer here, but we were, where'd it go? It is right here. So we're looking at the trees. And we were just like, dude, there's a lot of bear sign up here. Like these are bear claw marks up here.
Right.
These are from bear claws. So something chased this bear up the tree. So Luke and I, we were traveling up this road, and we started seeing like weird little markings. And then I was like, dude, put your hand up and look how high that rub is. Like they're rubbing up there. That's got to be 8 feet up because he's a little over 6 feet tall.
Mm-hmm. He's like 6'2".
Yeah. So that thing's rubbing way up there. And then we go to the top of this, or the end of this logging road. Like I said, we were trying to get from one angle of a valley to another angle. Mm-hmm. And what I did is we would use our Onyx and we would look and follow the road system and say, okay, if we can get to this point, we'd have a good view into the backside, So that's what we did. We followed this thing up, and then, this thing is not cooperating. When we got to the point where we could see in the backside, here's the view. I think this might be a video of after he had shot the bear. It's downloading from the cloud. So.
This is the west side deck?
This was the Capalson Tree Farm.
Yep, I was just going to say that, but I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
Well, we can say it now because we don't have a spring bear anymore.
And if you want to spend hundreds of dollars going out there, I would say it's probably good every now and then. but super hard to get bear on. Let's see here.
Dude, I know where this is. The turnout to the road's right behind you, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a road right behind us. Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly where that is.
Fucking 6 years.
He's like 6 years, dude.
See, the thing that sucks about that tag is they don't. Well, maybe they tell you now, but when Kapowson first became a spring bear area, they didn't tell you that you needed to buy a permit if you drew.
Oh, an access permit, yeah.
Right, and you didn't know until you drew until February at that time, and the permits were already. They'd give you a permit because you drew the thing, but they were charging you for the full year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And their season ends August 1st. So it's like, I'm only going in there for a bear season. I'm not going in there for the rest of the year. Why can't you prorate it? Which they didn't do. And I don't know if they've changed that since.
Well, I think it was $300. I think it was $300 for the access once we got there for spring bear. So it's a little hot in here, so I'm taking my hat off. But I think it was $300 for just the spring bear season.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I mean, you think about it, you're like, okay, this is a massive amount of land, but you have better odds of getting a bear in a regular August fall season because you can go target bears,
Right.
and you could call them in just as easy. This bear here was called in when we went to the end of the landing. We just used a fawn jack call. Got to the end of the landing. There was a log pile, big slash pile. He went to the left side, I went to the right side, and that was just kind of, we both sat on each side looking down different little slopes, and it was probably 15 or 20 seconds of calling, and this bear stood up. So if they're in a clearing and you get a fawn call or whatever, they should stand up to see, if they're close, they'll look.
Right.
Or they'll come in, but they're not going to be like, nah, don't want to eat. Especially in the springtime, right around fawning time too.
When they're lethargic and
they're not lethargic at all.
No, I'm just using.
Yeah.
I know what you meant.
We know exactly what you're talking about.
Here's how you can tell bears aren't lethargic.
When you miss.
Every single one I've shot at, boom, and you miss them, they run like Scooby-Doo. I mean, they're putting dust on those feet, and there's no slowness about it. It's 0 to top speed. The second step on the ground is at top speed.
Yeah.
They're not out there going, what's happening, dude? I don't know. Let me just sit here for a minute. There's none of that. They're fully alert, and they know what they're doing. So, but this is the last one we got. We got down here. Let's fast forward and pass here just a little bit. See if we can.
Well, no one's going to hear it, so they can just watch it on the screen because I did not plug in the laptop to the podcasting unit. So,
okay. I thought they
there's
had
not
it.
well, yeah, we got sound, but people listening is not. So, if anybody's been listening to the podcast, our friend Luke just got done shooting his last spring bear here in Washington State because now he's actually living in Tennessee now. So, but yeah,
I'll get. This is 5 minutes of video, so I'll just go to the shot.
Yeah.
There's the spring bear. We don't like the long arm where we're from.
Right.
We could have made Luke look like a little itty bitty guy back there, but let me go back to the truck picture. So this is the head. From the truck, you're going to get better feel for how big the bear was. When they're laid out flat, they're kind of small. But that's it. Probably 115, 120 pound.
That's about the size of the one shot.
Not huge, but they're. This was a boar. I think he caught 2 boars. This was
I think
this was a sow.
Yeah.
This was a sow. The first one was a boar, and then this one was a sow. But yeah, just a nice spring day. This right here, this on this side, just FYI, this is state land. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But you can't get to it.
No, you can get right to it. You can go right there to that spot.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. And this drain, I'll tell you later the name of this drainage. This is where this is where there's a lot of bears. We went back in the day in I don't want to say
He would go right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Probably 20. It's 2020. About 2002, 2003. We had this Moultrie game camera.
The
you
big
know,
ones, yeah.
The freaking. You had 8. What are they? D-cell batteries.
Yeah.
And
I still got one of those.
cost you a fortune to run it, you know. And so we put one of those out, and we took a 10-pound bag of brown sugar, and just poofed it over a fern. 10 or 12 bears came into that thing within 2 days. Different bears in that same drainage.
Wow.
And you're like, crap. So next time we're like, okay, let's put a feeder up there. Let's put a dripper and see how many come in. So we put a buck jam dripper tied up to a tree, and that's how I got the picture of that bear fully extended in there.
Cool.
That was freaking crazy. So anyhow, we didn't hunt them over those baits, but we put those in there to get the
Well, that was
to get the photos.
22 years ago.
Yeah, I mean it was a long time ago. I'm going to see if I have the picture of that bear in here on that deal. I probably don't because it's so long ago, but anyhow, that's that. Well,
So Ross, we know it's past your bedtime because you get up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
do you really?
Yeah, he does.
Jeez.
Yeah, he starts early.
Yeah, I'm usually off by noon or 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's okay, though.
And it's 9 o'clock at night now.
Yeah.
So
So
It's for good purpose.
before we call it a night, where can we purchase your products, and what do you have actually on the website? We can actually kind of show what's going on, but
So I have T-shirts. Right now, quantity is a little low. I'm going to be having some more stuff coming here in August. I have hats. I have plenty of tag wallets. And then I also have like a kill kit thing on there. You can buy it 2 ways. You can just buy the bag only, or you can buy it fully assembled. It comes with, I actually throw a flask in there, a Crazyelk flask, you know, celebrate the moment. Mm-hmm. And then it comes with some rope. I think it's like 60 feet of rope. It comes with gloves for people. I don't use gloves, but a lot of people like to use gloves. They're biodegradable, so you can just leave them out there. It comes with some wipes to clean yourself, or like if you got a really bloody animal and you want to clean it for a picture, you know, you can use the wipes for that. The cool thing I like about the wipes is they look like a pill,
oh wow.
and they're dry. So all you got to do is put some water on there, and then you got a towel.
Oh wow,
that's cool.
that's cool.
Yeah, and I put 10 of those in the they came with these tubes, but the company I was getting the tubes from, I don't know, they just
Disappeared.
yeah, I can't find them anymore. The contact, they're gone, and so I just been using Ziplocs, just putting those little pill things in there. And then I got the hats, and then yeah, that's it for now. I have, like I said, I have 2 other products. I'm just having manufacturing issues. One, if any of you guys are can sew, I have a really cool tent idea. Hit me up. You can find me at on Instagram at the Crazyelk Company, or Facebook, same, the Crazyelk Company. Crazyelk is one word. We also have a YouTube channel of all our hunts up there. I haven't. I stopped using the video editing software I was using, and I'm getting Adobe, and I'm just trying to learn that right now. Adobe's a little bit more detailed than the one I was using. So we're not going to have any videos probably till fall. But I have quite a few videos up now. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Like my Turkey Slam videos are on there. I got drawn for that bull tag last year. It's actually a 6-parter. I won't tell you how it ends, but so you have to watch all 6. But it was a tag. It was once in a lifetime for me. I grew up in the unit. It's in my backyard. But then I want to say it was like 92, 93. They had a really bad winter, and they closed down the unit for quite a while. And when they opened it back up, it was draw only. And it took me 28 years to draw.
Wow.
Jeez.
And
wow.
I've helped other people draw the tag.
Mm-hmm.
that have drawn the tag. I mean, I've helped them get their bulls because, like I said, it's just in my backyard. I can go up, at the bottom end of the units, like less than an hour, and the top end of the units, like 2 hours, And anyway, I know the unit really well. And when I drew this year, I didn't draw during June. I got called late September saying, hey, this guy turned in his tag. Do you want it? And I was like, well, hindsight, I probably should have turned it down because I didn't have any more vacation. But I'm like, it's a long season. I can go every day after work. I have every weekend.
Yeah.
I told the wife, this is what's happening. I don't, you can be mad at me all you want, but I'm going every single day. And I only missed 2 days out of the whole season. It was a 28-day season.
Jeez.
So, and I only missed 2 days. I passed up, and some people have emailed me and said I'm totally stupid. You should never pass up a bull in Washington. But I've taken my fair share of bulls. And with the history I have in the unit, I know what kind of bulls are in the unit. And so I passed up some bulls. None of them were over 300. But, one of them might have been like a 280. I saw 5 bulls in the first 3 days, passed them all up. I never saw a single bull the rest of the season.
Oh, that's how it works, man.
I was like,
It can go
It
that
happens.
way.
Yep,
Yeah.
it happens, and that sucks.
yeah.
That's the game you play when you got a good tag, And I'm
Yeah,
pretty
but
sure
I
I know
mean-
that unit he's talking about.
But here's the thing, though, too. When you know the genetics of that area, you kind of have a picture in mind of like what you want to go after, and I get that. But when it comes down to the last day, that's when it's like, okay, now it's time to fill the tag.
Yeah.
You know what
Well-
I mean? But if you didn't see anything past that, I mean,
They
it
say-
is what it is.
They say don't pass something.
blah, blah,
You wouldn't
blah.
shoot on the last day,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was aiming for at least a 320 bull because I know there's plenty of them in there. And I have seen bigger. The year before, I saw a 370 bull in there that a muzzleloader actually shot, but never recovered.
Oh.
And we never found it,
Oh,
like ever. We never saw crows. It never turned up, so we don't know if it lived or not, but I never saw it the next year. So I'm assuming it died in a hole somewhere that just nobody can find. But yeah, that's all on my YouTube. I did get the bear, and that's in that little series on there. Actually, I killed the bear because it ruined what could have been a bull. I don't know if it was a bull or not. I was in the clearing. It was through some thick trees. I could tell it was
something.
I could tell it was an elk, and by the color of it, I'm like, that's a bull. And so I started getting like all my cameras and stuff ready, only to have not any of them work. Like one camera didn't have the battery, the other card didn't have the SD card, and I'm like, what the heck?
Sounds
Anyway,
like something I would
I
do.
know that pain.
and he was staring off to my right. And I'm like, what the heck is he staring at? And so I'm, fidgeting around trying to see what I can get to record the situation. And then I look up and he's facing the other way, and then he walks off really slow. Well, as soon as he disappeared, 50 yards to my right comes this bear.
Ooh.
And I just looked at him and I'm like, I never killed a bear before. You're 50 yards. It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
That's a gift. That's gift wrapping right there.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks for coming. Nice playing with you.
I need one of those.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to target bears pretty heavily this August.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Which reminds me, I need to get out and shoot the 308.
That's the one thing I think maybe the commission has not considered, that the fact that there is no more, not a spring season, is maybe pushing people more to hunt during the fall than normal.
Yeah. No, I saw it last year.
I think most people don't hunt bears. Most people go hunting, and a bear is like a innocent bystander of a hunting season for deer elk season.
That's how it was for me. I mean, I've always had it taken in my pocket, but I never actually focused on hunting a bear.
When you focus and you go like spring bear hunting, it's different. Like I told Dave before he went, I was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever done, because I've never been in the woods without looking for a deer or an elk as my primary game. I mean, besides duck or turkey, right? Normal stuff.
Right.
Not like I'm going bear hunting. We're going on a bear hunt. Doom, 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 doom. And we were just going on a bear hunt. And the first day I was kind of like, this is really strange. I'm looking for the specific thing. And it made me more keenly aware of what I was looking for. Like during deer season, I'm not looking for bears and deer. I'm looking for deer. Or during archery season, I'm looking for deer or an elk. I have a certain shape in my mind. But I probably missed a million bears because I'm looking for deer.
Right.
Now, when I'm looking for bears, I'm like dude, that's a freaking bear. I could see the ear. You could see the ear on the bear in the bottom of a clear cut because you're looking for that specific thing. And I basically vowed to myself, I'm like, I'm not gonna not go hunt bears. Normally, I wouldn't even go in August. I would just be fishing. I'd wait till September, and just if I see a bear, I do. If I don't, whatever. But now that there's no spring tag, I'm like, okay, I have to go in August now, and I'm gonna sit on them berry fields and
I'm gonna go huckleberry picking with a rifle is what I'm gonna do.
The deal is you go up there and you talk to the huckleberry pickers.
Yeah.
You go down, you sit by the huckleberry buyer, and you wait for people to come in and ask them where they, hey, where have you seen any bears? Where have you seen them? And they'll tell you, oh yeah, right up here, because they don't like seeing them.
Right.
They're up there picking huckleberries, and half the time their heads down, they're just doing their thing, and then there'll be a bear. So hey, we'll be up there. So that's what we've done, and it's led us to some spots where, if nothing else, you learn some good huckleberry patches.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's on this year. It's going to be fun.
Cool. Well, I can't wait to see some pics. Yeah, like I said, crazyelkcompany.com. On Instagram, we're the Crazy Elk Company. And what else I can say? Oh, you want to tell your followers about...
Oh, discount code?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Use Ridgeline 15.
20.
Oh, 20.
Bumped it. He kicked it up a notch.
It up a notch. So, yeah, Ridgeline 20. Use Ridgeline 20 on the website when you go to checkout, and you'll get 20% off your purchase.
Yep, capital R in the Ridgeline.
There
Nice.
you go. That is awesome. Thank you very much. That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This is gonna be good. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. It was nice having dinner with you too, man. We got some good personal time in there, some family time.
Yeah.
Build the relationships. And this is an excellent idea.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk to you after the show about it because I think it has a lot of usage, and it should just go from there.
Yep. This will definitely have my bear tag in it here later this year. Boom.
Like I said, look forward to the pictures.
Yeah. He's like stock cheap sucker.
Yeah, exactly. I've been saying that forever now. So this might be the ticket.
All
That
right.
might be it. All right, everybody. Have a
night.
good night.
Thanks a lot.